So, food for thought. You know, a lot of guys will say, man, it's different shooting at a target with dots than it is shooting at an animal, which of course, 100% it is. But the question is why? Why is there a difference? And in this video, I want to talk about the difference and some ways to mitigate that difference with the target you already have if you're not trying to spend a bunch of money on a 3D target. So, if that's interesting to you, stay tuned. Oof. All right, so I was definitely aiming at the dots, and the ones that I did not hit the dots, I missed, like 100% missed. But getting to the topic of the conversation, when we talk about connecting and shooting a target and connecting it with shooting an animal, what is the difference? Well, I think point of aim is the difference. When you have a dot, like a dot, and you know exactly what you're aiming at, I think the biggest thing is being able to either cover up the dot, or some people will float their dot a little bit lower than the target that they want to hit, not knowing that they're doing that. But when they have a silhouette, their idea of where to hit is now a reference point. And I think a lot of people will say, like, yeah, you aim just beyond the shoulder. But like, they leave it at the idea of just behind the shoulder. They don't think like, they're not triangulating like, okay, right up the leg, and then right through the middle of the body, or looking at that shadow and not just following the whole crease of the shoulder blade, but I want to hit just the point or the apex of that shoulder blade. Those that do that, and those that aim further back, like, this is not a debate of where to aim. I don't care. But I think the main thing and the main difference in the way that you can practice on aiming at an idea of a location and still being able to judge to know if you're hitting it, and you don't have a 3D target that just has like those blank circles that you can then give like some type of a squirm ring to, would be to aim off target. What do I mean? I mean, if I'm aiming and I have, let's say there's 15 aiming dots down there, and I say, you know what, I don't want to hit one of the dots because that's where my eye wants to draw to. Or I'm not just aiming at the general idea. I might say, I want to aim about 2 inches top left of that dot. Or let's say the deer was walking to the left. And so I know that broadside perfect shot that we're all looking for and hoping for is now a little bit right of that dot. So let me say I'm going to aim 2 inches right of that dot. I find that when I'm able to do that, and then I went to a few of the 3D shoots that I was able to do, I didn't feel like a huge transition. The first time I shot 3D, it did. It's kind of weird when I went to my first tack, trying to figure out exactly a point to aim and being okay with not seeing exactly what I want to hit. But when I started practicing that way, I found that I had somewhat of a carryover, or maybe it was just another year of shooting that made me that much more comfortable just aiming at a spot or an idea of a spot rather than aiming at an actual point. And so I'll give you an example in what I'm talking about. So I have 4 arrows in the target right now. So let's say right now I wanted to aim at the middle dot from the left at the very bottom. So 1, 2 in, but I don't want to hit that dot. So what I'm then going to do is say, okay, I want to hit middle. So that bottom row, instead of aiming at that second one in from the left, I'm now going to aim at the middle of it. What that does is now it takes away my exact point of aim and now forces me to say, okay, well, you have a reference point. I see this dot on this animal or whatever, this speckled spot, but I know that that's a bad spot. Like, I can't hit that spot. Well, your mind's going to magically start thinking, hit that spot. And so now I have to overcome that thought process and say, no, this is where I want to hit. So, for example, just where I told you, let's see how we do. I'm high, and I'm creeping a little bit more left than what I would like. So, we're gonna do it again. All right, we got one more shot. So now, let's say I'm aiming at the big dot in the middle. Hopefully I'm still recording. But let's say I'm aiming at the big dot in the middle. But instead of saying, I want to hit middle, I might say, I want to hit 1 o'clock on that dot. And let's act like that's the shoulder, right? Because I don't want to hit the shoulder. I want to aim just off the shoulder. And this lighting is terrible, I know, but hopefully this is something beneficial. But again, so I take another shot. I want to hit 1 o'clock on that circle. Not in it, I just want to rub just the outside of it at 20 yards. Boom. See, I really like that shot, especially at 20 yards. That's exactly where I was trying to place it. That's that 1 o'clock, right off to the top right. And that's the way that I practice without having 3D targets, just to be able to shoot at all different types of ranges. When I know that hunting season is right around the corner, or I'm getting ready for tack, or now I get excited about shooting like 3D next year. But beyond the point, I think you get the idea. Try it out. Let me know if it actually helps you out in regards to your hunting this year. Hopefully it does. And hopefully we don't have any wounded deer walking around the woods this year, and hopefully we get them all down. Now, broadhead choice, you get to pick it. Arrow choice, you get to pick it. Where you need to hit on the deer, in some regards, you get to pick it. But we got a big old plate we get to aim at. Practice, be better, and practice again. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.